Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard.
And your girl, Miss Laganja Estranja. And we're back again with another episode of Queening Out.
I always do that. I go, ooh, after every single time.
Okay, it's like when I entered the workroom and I said my catchphrase and then Gia Gunn was like, yes, bitch, work. It's like a tail end to a catchphrase.
Yes.
Yes, bitch.
Yes, bitch, work. You're getting ready for Work the World.
I am getting ready. I have been going like crazy this week, doing all the things. I swear to God, I have kept the house of Bezos in business. I literally have been getting all the things and things. I got my extensions removed this morning because I'm wearing a bunch of short wigs, so I got to be able to put the hair underneath them. Got my nails did, got my toes done. So we're doing a couple little last minute collabs today and tomorrow, and then she's off on Sunday.
Where's the first city?
The first city is Atlantic City.
New Jersey.
Outside of New Jersey, right? Or is it in New Jersey proper?
In New Jersey, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just know it has casinos.
Lots of casinos.
Great. Love that. It means I can smoke inside. So
yes.
I'm into that. And what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, as I was talking to you just a little bit ago, I had never seen Mommy Dearest.
Bad gay.
And so I knew before I got to this podcast and with the episode this week.
Did you know, or was it your boyfriend that knew?
This is my boyfriend told me. He
Good
said,
gay.
you need to watch Mommy Dearest before you do this podcast. So I watched the episode.
How had you never seen that? It just never crossed your ether?
Well, the thing is that my parents were when I was younger, very gatekeeping of everything that I watched and everything that I did.
They were gay keeping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So anything that had anything to do with being gay or like a moment was
So you didn't grow up listening to Bette Midler?
No.
Oh, bless your heart.
No, I did not. The first song that I heard on the radio, because my parents didn't let me listen to the radio.
Whoa.
It was a 3rd grade field trip.
Okay.
And we were in somebody's parents' car and they put on the radio and it was Macy Gray's I'd Try. That was the first song I heard on the radio.
Wow. It's a good one.
It is a good one.
We love a Macy Gray moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched Mommy Dearest. I loved it.
Did you love it?
Yes, I did.
It's great, right?
It's so
There's
camp.
a reason it's a gay classic.
Yes. I totally understand it. And then I made sure I watched the episode to then get all the references again.
Yeah.
And I got it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, love
That's a
it.
good one.
And you just put on an episode with Bimini.
I did.
Yes, Exposed.
Put out my Exposed with Bimini, which was wonderful to see the reception. People are really loving her, which
of course, she's amazing.
She's freaking amazing.
Yeah, she's like a rock star.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so that was a very great in-depth interview. We got into like management issues and we got into things that she has been going through, and she let some tea spill that I guess that a lot of the UK girls are going through management issues.
Really?
And they're about to put out like a joint statement and like sue. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, we had that happen here in America with one of the companies that I shall not name, but I myself can relate to the management issues. I've gone through many a manager, many a booking agent. It's definitely a lot of trial and error and just finding the right team that works for you. Yeah.
Got to find those that support you and want to push you and not use you.
That's right. Or want to be you. A lot of those promoters out there,
Oh, they want to be you.
Well, they want to be a doll. They want to be the queen. They want to be the star of it all. Yeah. So that's why they book the doll, so that they get the cloud, and it's a whole thing.
Can you like spot those people?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, pretty quickly. I mean, if they pick you up from the airport and they're already full out, you're like, I see where this is going this weekend. Yeah.
Like, I got it.
Yeah.
I see you.
I see you. I feel you. But, I live into that. I give into it. I let them live. If they're feeling their fantasy by being with me, I mean, why wouldn't I support that? That's wonderful that I can like bring that joy or that effervescence. So yeah, I go with it. That's something Shangela taught me. Give the promoters their life. It will keep you booked for years.
Well, we have some emails.
Yes.
So let's get into it. You can send us an email at Laganjos, LAGANJOES.
I was going to let you
gmail.com.
spell it because, I fucked that up last week.
I think you said like Lanajos or something.
Dyslexia. It's real.
The first one is from Mael, Mael. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Hello, Ganja and Joseph. I hope you're doing good. So, I am a 21-year-old virgin, gay man, and I've never done anything sexually or romantically with anyone ever. I really have a desire to, but I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable. I feel really good about my body. I'm not insecure with it, but when it comes to sex, I feel the opposite. I just wanted to know if you had some advice for me regarding this topic. P.S. I am French, and I just want to say that France loves you both very much, and thank you for this amazing review.
Oh, wow. This is a very fierce question. I mean, I guess I would say explore with yourself first. You know, maybe they have already done this, but if not, I just want to put that out there. Masturbation is key.
Oh, yes. Always.
You know, get to know yourself, get to know what makes you tick so that when you're working with someone else, you're able to be communicative. As far as like putting yourself out there, I mean, there really isn't a right or wrong way to do it. You just kind of got to do it. I hate to say that because it's kind of like very easier said than done, but I don't think there are like ways to like ease into the water. It reminds me of not Supermodel. What is it? Superstar.
Oh, Superstar.
You know
yeah,
how she's like, there's one where you like dip your toes into the pool or you just like jump in. I feel like this is one of those situations where you just have to sort of jump in. You know, maybe there's like kissing and hand holding that like leads up to sex. So we love a good little foreplay. But ultimately, you know, you just got to be brave and be willing to mess up or embarrass yourself because the only way you're going to get better is through trying and figuring it out.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have my first sexual experience till I was 21. So I can feel you in that boat. I would say that my issue was I couldn't accept myself. So I had the struggle of accepting that I was gay, and that was pushing off the sexual experiences because I was just like, I don't even know if this is what I is. Like, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. But then, like you said, you really do have to jump in.
Yeah.
Yes, I was hand sweat, clammy. Yes, I was nervous as hell. It is a nerve-wracking thing. It may not be the best experience of your life.
Yeah.
But once you get the one done,
it becomes easier.
It becomes easier.
Yeah. And I think for me, I was really lucky because I've always been more into guys who are the aggressive one and the ones to like lead the scenario. So I feel like that's one way that I was able to really get into it is that I wasn't the one to initiate. I was the one to follow through. The receiver.
The receiver.
The bottom. The woman.
Keep going.
The taker. The toker. The tush.
So good. So good. Yes. So thank you, Mail, for this. Literally, I think that the biggest thing is just find the confidence in yourself. Be comfortable. Don't do anything that you don't want to do, and don't feel pressured to do anything.
Use
you don't want to
condoms.
do. Yes.
Prep is your best friend.
Prep is your best friend. Use condoms. And
a little drink or two might help ease you up.
Maybe a little Laganja.
Little Laganja.
And I will say, as I said with the Pride event last year, or not last episode, when I said with the Pride event, when the person wrote in, if you're not feeling it, just leave.
I love that, actually. Trust me, I've had
There
moments.
have been plenty of situations.
I have too, where I'm like, this isn't working, doll. Let's wrap this up. More than it already is.
Time to go.
Next up, we have a message from Addie. It says, I don't have any questions. Just wanted to say how happy I am to have you back at Queening Out. Even though this season is kind of meh. I do agree with Ganja. I love watching earlier seasons. It was so, well, she wrote revolutionary, but I'm going to say revolutionary. But such is the case with Revelations. When they get established, they lose their charisma. Trying to cater to a wider and larger audience maybe makes them compromise a lot of the queer aspects of RuPaul's Drag Race that they held in the past. And with the All-Star seasons, it's all the more disappointing since both we and the dolls waited for their return to the screen and the show does not deliver on showcasing the queens. I get that they want to change the format, but there are unsuccessful changes. We didn't get to see enough of the eliminated queens, and it's giving regular season vibe. I'm having more fun watching you two than I do the episodes. And since the next one is the last time you'll be together in the studio before my queen is off to tour, I want to say, stay safe out there, mama. Still love you both, Addie. XX. Oh, so sweet. Also, I love the shade. She better read.
She said.
Well, you know, I hate to go back to this, but every time I watch it on Paramount Plus, season 1 comes back on. And I'm always like, girl, I don't need to watch this. But then somehow I get sucked in. This is what happened to me last night when watching the episode. I'm at the last episode of season 1. So I was like, well, I've already watched all these episodes. I might as well watch this last episode. And, why do I want to say Fifi? No.
BB?
Thank you. Gosh, I'm off today. I was up very early to get my extensions out. So BB sits down with RuPaul to have the Tic Tac dinner or luncheon. And, she starts talking about Cameroon and how she sees people die from HIV and AIDS and lack of funding and medication around her. And she begins to cry. And I started getting teary-eyed. And I was like, wow, like I never get this emotional watching the show anymore. It's just crazy to me that like, yeah, so much of the essence of the beginning seasons has really been lost. And a lot of the dramatic moments or the touching moments just feel so produced. Like, I really feel like people are scared to be vulnerable on the show. And that's why ultimately it doesn't have that same charisma as Addie was saying. So I do think it's part producers, but I also think it's now that queens are producing themselves and they're afraid to just let that wall down and really be truly who they are. So anyways, I agree with you, Addie. Thank you for watching our show. I'm glad we're bringing you joy and able to spice up this season. And yeah, I just appreciate your honesty and I will definitely stay safe out there.
Well, thank you, Addie. And now we get to get onto some voicemails. But before we do, you were mentioning Paramount Plus and when you watch the episodes of All Stars and it goes back to season 1.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you don't know, if you click RuPaul's Drag Race on Paramount Plus, there's a little live channel button. And literally, if you click that, it's just a channel on Paramount Plus that just plays Drag Race 24/7. So you don't know what episode you're going to get.
That's
you don't know what's going to
fun.
happen. Yeah.
I like that.
So like if anybody wants to just randomly, you just feel like watching Drag Race and you don't know what season, just turn on that live channel. I did it the other day and I think it was like season 3 was on.
That's
and
so
I was
fun.
like, yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'll give that a try.
All right. Let's listen to our first voicemail.
Hi, Shepard. Hi, Laganja. This is Amanda from Washington State. I just wanted to congratulate you guys because this year's show is fantastic. So I wanted to give you guys your flowers. I also wanted to shout out, why am I so nervous? Weird. I just wanted to also shout out Joseph because as someone that was recently diagnosed as autistic, thank you for sharing that. I also relate to your food sensory issues. I have had a lifetime of trying to explain to people why I don't like certain foods. And it's like, it sounds bomb, but I just don't like onions on things. So I can relate and can relate to the struggle of trying to explain to people. I just wanted to give you guys your flowers and thank you guys for sharing. And I'm excited to see more of your guys' journey. Stay healthy and happy and safe and all that. And thank you guys. Bye.
I love this. I will say I was laughing so hard at the comments
Me
of the last
too, not
episode.
ramen
All
gate.
the ramens. There's so many people talking about ramen.
I loved it.
There was some on my side saying
There was
they
definitely
did.
some. Yeah, people ate it dry like you.
And then there were other people telling me that if I eat it dry, then I'm going to
bad
get
for
bloated
you.
and it's bad for you and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I never knew that ramen gate would happen.
It happens. It was a thing.
Are
So
there
good.
foods that you don't like?
I wish. No, I love food. I really genuinely love food. I don't like black olives.
Oh, I don't like olives, period.
I don't like olives, yeah, period. Celery for me is very interesting. Like cooked in a chicken noodle soup, fine.
Okay.
Raw on a salad, too strong of a taste. It takes over the salad to me. Celery and peanut butter, fine. So it's it depends on how it's done, but not necessarily my favorite go-to food, celery. But yeah, no, I was such a picky eater growing up that I think, thanks to my dear friend Kristen, who is an amazing cook and friend, I learned to just love onions and mushrooms and all these things that I thought I didn't like.
What do you do when you're on the road? Okay, so
Eat fast food.
But what? What are you getting?
Just all of it, girl. I love fast food. I'm going to really try not to on this Work the World. I'm actually really working on losing weight right now. So I'm going to try my best. But, a lot of times we finish late and it's the only thing that's open. So, and I love a good, fried chicken. I love a good Taco Bell moment. I had that last night.
Yes.
So yeah, I love fast food. I grew up on it. It's just It's a guilty pleasure. Also, I just wonder if the first person who called you shepherd in our very beginning episodes like knows that they started a thing.
They started a thing.
I love it.
I love it too. My agent messaged me the other day and she was like, should I start calling you shepherd now? I was like, well, yeah, I guess so.
I love it.
Next voicemail.
Hey there, my name is Brian from Phoenix, Arizona, and first of all, I'd like to say that I'm fully obsessed with the reviews. Laganja, you're gorgeous and fierce as hell, and Joseph, you are cute as all get out. Also, whoever designed the background and lighting gets major props. I also love the positivity and opinions you both bring to these reviews. Okay, my question for you relates to traveling, specifically being on a plane for a long period of time. From watching Laganja's YouTube videos, I definitely see her getting her frequent flyer miles in. Personally, I love traveling, but I hate being on a plane for anything longer than 3 hours. So if you were going on a long-haul flight, what is your plane routine? What do you do to keep yourself entertained or comfortable when you just want to be able to get up and stretch your legs? Let me know your tips. Keep up the great work and safe travels. Bye-bye.
Did you write this as an email and then read it?
Why?
Because that's what I felt. I felt like he was reading it.
Oh,
so I was
really?
getting it. So yeah, I was like, "You reading email? If not, you have a really great presenting voice."
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
Get it?
I didn't clock it. My routine is 2 Tylenol PMs and a double Jack and Coke.
I like that.
I mean, not good for your liver, but it works. I don't like to be awake on planes. I like to sleep the whole way if possible, because
Interesting.
trying to entertain myself for 5 to 7 hours is just like impossible. When I am awake, I definitely try to work. So I edit videos. I work on anything, emails. I always buy the internet if I know I'm not going to be able to sleep, or if my pills wear off and I wake up. But yeah, no, my favorite thing to do is to drug the doll and have her go to sleep.
I'm the complete opposite.
Really?
I have to be awake.
Why?
Because anytime I ever fall asleep on a plane, I wake up and it is so like hot to me. Like I'm a hot sleeper.
I get that.
So I'll wake up and I will start panicking because one, I'm so hot. And then if that little air thing doesn't work properly, I'm like,
And now
me
you know
air.
some planes don't have the baby little thing above you.
I know.
It's rude. I don't understand. I'm like, I need a jet system in my face. It's already like,
Yeah, it's already.
so at least give me that.
Or when they have it on and it's hot air blowing on you.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah.
Or like when you have to like sit at the gate and you're waiting and then they turn off
Please,
the air.
please don't get me started on sitting at the gate. Mama, I just went to Canada and I just got to say it again. Canada Air can suck me from the back. Like they suck. The worst airline. I've literally worse than Spirit. I didn't know you could get worse than Spirit, but it is so bad. Oh my God, it was miserable. We were stuck on the tarmac. My flight got canceled. I had to sit middle seat. I mean, just bad experience all around. They lost my bag. Girl, it was out of control. Out of control. But I do always think that like if the plane were to crash, I know it's very dark, but if the plane were to crash, like people were like, well, don't you want to be like awake and alert? And I'm like, no, mama, I don't. I definitely want to be on sleeping pills and relaxed and just like, well, here we go, dolls. Like, I don't want to be awake and stressing out. I'd rather be groggy and just kind of like go with the crash.
What I've never understood about crashes is how come under every plane seat, like they say like, oh, that you may have like a life preserver or whatever. Why don't they have freaking parachutes?
And what, we're all just going to know how to work a parachute?
Well, maybe they can add it at the first, like the safety
Oh
demonstration.
yeah, because everyone pays attention to that.
Well, hey, you know what? I'd rather a parachute than a random seat that I hold onto and jump off a plane and then just hope that I float.
I mean, I just feel like if the plane is crashing, 9 times out of 10, you're going to die. I hate to be, bleak, but I feel like most people do not survive plane crashes. Like,
Let me look this up.
yeah, okay, well, is there a percentage
of people
that
who
survive plane crashes? Oh my God.
plane
What a great way to start this week's episode. Now we're going to have someone write in who's like, I actually survived a plane crash, and it's because I was awake and alert, and I was able to use the life floaty underneath my chair. What's it say?
According to a study by the European Transport Safety Council, plane crashes technically have a 90% survivability rate.
What?
And this figure is
That's
increasing.
Europeans. Americans, look up Americans, because let me tell you, they ain't surviving. They could barely get back from the McDonald's and survive. Come on now. I mean, for real. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, that's what all I keep seeing. I keep seeing 90 to 95%.
How do they survive?
Maybe these are like smaller crashes. Maybe it's like a
I feel like if you're
fender
going
bender.
into the water at that crazy impact, mama, you're drowning. Like, what?
On that note, for your voicemail, yes, stay asleep. I always bring things to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's my Switch,
What's a Switch?
Nintendo Switch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we weren't good with video games. With the lightsaber thing that
Yeah,
you're doing.
somebody wrote in the name of the game, and I was like, yeah, I think that is it. Can't remember it. Lightsaber or Beat Saber? I think that's what they called it. I forget. It's a good game, though.
I think it also was on Delta's podcast that she said if a flight's over 3 hours, then she prefers the aisle. But if it's under 3 hours, she prefers the window.
Oh, I'm a window girl always.
Always.
Because I'm, sleep, so I need something to lean against.
Mm-hmm. I normally sleep like frontward.
Oh, really? On the
that little-
thing?
yeah, I put,
can't.
like, my-
There's too many limbs. I'm like, I can't do it. Are you an aisle person?
Always.
Oh, okay.
Normally always, because I just like my leg to be,
Right.
I'm
I know. Well, I am that rude bitch. I'm going to tattletale on myself. You know how it's like one bag goes up, one bag goes underneath? Oh, no, ma'am. She puts both bags up. Because I need that leg room.
of course.
I know, but it's so rude. And then the plane gets full, and I'm always like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Well, those people should have got to the plane faster.
Well, it's true. That's why I get the early bird special for the Southwest, because I'm going to put both bags up. Unless it's my dog, and in which case, obviously, I put her in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I need that leg room. I feel you.
I hope we answered your question.
We sure went on a tangent, that's for sure.
We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to get into this episode of Drag Race All-Stars 8, episode 6.
Wow. And we are back with Queening Out. We are about to break down this week's episode, the rusical, the unauthorized rusical of Joan Crawford.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So all the girls got to kind of pick their parts.
Yeah, it was pretty amicable. There was one little tryout sesh, right? Between Jessica and Candy.
Yes,
Yeah. Candy ended up taking it home,
she did.
Yeah.
And Jessica got to have an axe.
which worked out way better in her favor, if
think it
I
did.
do say so myself. I think Jessica in a previous episode was like, oh,
Rook.
drag rook. Drag look was rock. So I really kind of felt like this tied in with that. She was giving us that rock and roll, and she honestly was my favorite. I got to be honest. I thought she killed this week's challenge. She really stood out to me. I felt like Candy was good, but it was highly produced. I mean, I knew from jump when it was like, well, I went home and blah, blah, blah. I was like, here we go. They're setting her up for the win. I really felt it. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling the heavy hand in this edit right now, which to me made it a little boring because it was like not a surprise. I saw it from jump that like, oh, this is Candy's week. She hasn't had a moment, so we're going to make her, look good.
I thought Candy did good. Looking at all of the girls, I think that Kahana's dancing was the best. However, her face, like they said, was not there.
Sure, but she didn't feel bottom to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Literally, I watched it through like 2 or 3 times, but like her face to me just was not giving it. And
She
it
wasn't giving Joan.
She wasn't giving. Yes,
That's for sure.
That's what it was.
But I don't know. I really didn't think anyone this week was in the bottom. I
No,
thought they all
everybody
did
was
good.
pretty great.
They really all did good. Did I love the show? But I felt like they all did good. They all did good. No one was bad. They all hit their mark. They all told the story. They all did their choreo. So yeah, it was a good week for the girls, I felt.
This is what I wonder too, though. So there's all these different genres of songs.
Yeah.
Each of them get a different genre.
Right.
So you can be the best at the genre that you have, but that song may not be the best produced out of all of them.
Right.
So like Candy's song was really great. It was a song that I could see that, they potentially have on the show for like a girl group challenge or something. It was disco. It was there. It was a moment. And her number and her choreography was a moment. So those are the things that always go through my head. It's like, okay, well, you have somebody like a James Mansfield whose song was nowhere near as great as the other options that some of the girls had. So that's what really got into my head. And I was like, is it technically fair? No.
I mean, none of it's technically fair. That's why it's a reality television show competition. You know, it's not fair. It's produced.
Oh, I got a question.
Yeah.
Where do they get their outfits for the Rusical? Because if they're choosing their parts, those outfits are coming from production, obviously.
I think it just depends. Like, I think production will supplement and give you things to use, but also if you brought a bunch of extras and you have something, then, you know, you can use your own thing. So I think it's kind of up to the artist to decide what they want to do. Because like Kahana's dress to me was so gorgeous. Like, I don't think production gave her that. I think that was something she brought, you know?
Interesting.
One thing I will say about Candy's thing is the makeup for me. I wanted it to be an actual white cream mask as opposed to like a white powder. To give the look. Maybe because of longevity throughout the day. And since they had to do it a lot, she had to do that. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't feeling Miss Candy. I mean, it was good. I liked the big hanger. She nailed the choreo. I think it's just like I said, I could feel the producers being like, okay, this is her week and we're going to have her win. So I was already like, ugh, girl. Like, why don't we just see who's actually the best and give it to that person? Like, why are we producing this? Because I don't know. Like I said, to me, Jessica sounded really good on her song. She was super killing it. Like, I really enjoyed her performance. I thought she was going to win. I got to be honest.
I was actually thinking that Alexis Michelle was
I thought Alexis was amazing. Like, that's what I mean.
She looked so good.
She did.
She looked just like Joan. And then she killed her country choreography.
She did. And her song was fast and she had to rap fast. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just felt it was predictable, and that's no fun. I don't want to see who's winning from a mile away.
Because it just takes away all of the guessing work.
Right.
And it's kind of like the viewer that wrote in, and basically like, you know, you kind of lose the charisma once you start getting that formula.
Right.
And people now know the formula.
Right. Yeah. But I will say it was super cool they got to work with Adam Shankman. Mm-hmm. I adore him. I got to just meet him recently at the telethon where we raised a bunch of money for the Drag Defense Fund. He was so nice in person. And so like seeing him on TV, I was like, I'm so glad to know that that isn't a facade and that that is genuinely who he is. Mm-hmm. I thought he did a great job choreographing. I was so impressed to see him up there kicking and twirling. I was like, God, I hope I can move like that at his age. Like, wow, such a legend. Like, so cool. I mean, what a great person to bring onto the show as a choreographer. You know, if it's not going to be me, I'm glad that it was him because like, wow, I would have died to have worked with him.
And some of that stuff was intricate.
Yeah, no, like, it was really hard choreo for a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even Candy's thing where she had to jump and do the one leg and then she nailed that perfectly, which I was very much like work queen. Like that wasn't easy, you know?
Did you agree with the bottom two for the Rusical? Do you agree that it should have been James and Kahana, or do you think it should have been somebody else?
Like I said, I really felt like they were all good and there wasn't anyone who was bottom worthy. But I guess, like, if I had to pick, I guess, yeah. I mean, definitely James for me. Mm-hmm. I definitely felt like her energy was low. And ultimately, like you said, her song wasn't as good, so it was hard to do something with that. But she did look very Joan.
Yes.
She did the lips perfectly. I think I just have a soft spot for Kahana. I just love her, and I see a little bit of myself in her, or maybe I want to see a little bit of myself in her. But yeah, I mean, she definitely wasn't giving Joan. Mm-hmm. So I guess if we're critiquing on that aspect of it all, like, yeah, she didn't deliver. But I thought she sounded and looked great and danced well.
Well, speaking of another Joan, Grace Jones.
Yes, was our runway look.
Runway looks. Night of 1,000 Grace Jones.
Night of 1,000, insert celebrity here. Mm-hmm. Also another formula we keep sticking to.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I was Night of 1,000 Ruse, season 6. So we've been doing this Night of 1,000 someones.
For quite some time.
For a decade.
But didn't we learn last Queening Out that the Night of 1,000s came from a club in, was it New York?
Don't ask me, but I remember.
It was a club. I do remember
someone
that.
told us.
Someone told us.
That was on last season. It was J-Lo, right? Night of 1,000 J-Los?
Yes, it was Night of 1,000 J-Los, and somebody
told us where it originated from.
And it was great. And if you know where it originated from and you want to remind us, leave us a message at Laganja.
Yeah, because we read our comments. Or that too.
Yeah, or the comments, yes. So what do we think of Miss Kahana Montrese?
You know, it was a little too Vegas-y for me. It didn't necessarily read Grace. It was more Kahana does Grace as opposed to Grace. But it's wear it. I mean, it's a gorgeous outfit. She looks amazing.
I agree. It is a very gorgeous outfit. I do agree with you on the Vegas thing. And I believe, in all honesty, if she would have just kept it simple, it still would have looked great and it still would have looked Vegas.
Would have been boring. Because we're going to see some simple looks coming up. And I was like, why? So simple. You know what I mean? Like, I like that she tried to zhuzh it up and make it more drag. I just felt like it went into the Vegas atmosphere as opposed to the clean, structured lines of Grace.
Yes.
Like, the rose petals doesn't feel very Grace to me.
I agree with you.
But still wear it. It's gorgeous. Oh, wow.
James Mansfield.
God bless. It's a no.
Oh, baby.
And what's crazy is, like, it does look like what Grace wore. But I think it's a no on Grace, too.
I think it was a no all around. I understood where she was going with it.
Yeah.
She was trying to add the comedy to it. I put on a spandex suit from Amazon and then just glued a whole bunch of tails to it.
Well, but that's what you're getting from Grace, too.
But hers looks a little, I think it's because it fits her body.
Hers fits better, for sure. The fit was wrong, but I don't know. I didn't like how the judges were saying that about the tuck and all that. I'm like, haven't y'all learned from previous seasons? Like, we don't really comment on people's tucks. It's kind of inappropriate. Like, can't we find a better way to critique the fit of the crotch?
Yes.
As opposed to saying meaty tuck. And it came from, I believe, T.S. Madison, who is trans and, like, obviously is allowed to say that. But for me, it just made me a little bit uncomfortable because I imagined myself out there and then someone saying that to me. And I'm like, well, you can't say that to a trans woman. So why should you be able to say that to a drag queen? Like, you know, and I just remember, like, Evie Oddly has had some issues with how they talked about her penis. I know Jade Sotomayor had issues with how they talked about her, you know, junk. So again, I'm just like, can't we find a better way to say, like, the crotch is ill-fitting as opposed to meaty tuck or your dick is so big or things of that nature?
Because at the end of the day, too, the crotch was ill-fitting. I didn't see a meaty tuck.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't
it just
either.
needs a different...
Yeah. It's like when my crotch didn't fit on season 6 for the black and white runway. That's what Michelle told me. She was like, the crotch is too low. And it's like, fine, that's totally appropriate to say. And I also, as I'm saying all this, I'm like, oh, Jesus, Jay, lighten up and who cares? It's a fucking drag show. Like, why are you being so hard on, like, we should be proper? But I don't know. I just know when I saw it, it made me a little uncomfortable. And I was like, there's got to be a better way, or this is like nighttime nightclub talk and not for national television talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So you would wear this?
No. No, I wouldn't wear this for sure. I wouldn't wear Grace's. I wouldn't wear hers. It's a tear it all around.
Tear it. Next up, Candy Muse. Now, I will say I liked this from certain angles.
Yeah.
And when other angles were hit, it wasn't a thing. It also reminded me of, like, those play mats that you would have as a child.
Oh my God, yes, totally.
But I do think that she did a great job of converting one to the other.
Yeah.
But there was just one little thing about it that looked very playground to me. But besides that...
That's literally what I was going to say, is it's giving me McDonald's playground from the 90s. And then that's giving me, like, germs anxiety. So, like, I don't know. I feel like, again, when I look at Grace's, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know that this is one I would have picked, per se. I really love how she took the exclamation point and turned it into a K. I thought that was very creative. I do think it's a great look on her. You know, she loves the silhouette with, like, short leotard, long legs. That always looks great on Candy because her legs are killer. I love the color choice. I love the origami shape. It's a wear it. It's a wear it for sure. But like you said, at some angles, you could tell that it was like cardboard cut out, glued onto a black leotard. You know, not the most creative per se.
No, but it looked good from the... This looks great.
It does. No, it looks good.
I would wear it.
I would wear it too.
Miss Jessica Wilde. I will say something about this. The stage lighting did not do her justice because it was a purple dress.
Okay.
And with the purple lighting,
Okay.
it made her really washed out for me when I was looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I think it's the material. It's puckering a lot. It's not the most expensive silk. So it is showing every little imperfection. And I think that's what is killing it a little bit. Grace's is perfectly glued to her body. It almost looks like liquid. Whereas this, you could tell it was just worked and worked and worked on. It's a tear it for me. I got to be honest. I don't love it. Yeah.
I wouldn't wear it.
I'm being so
Tara.
honest today. I feel bad. I hate giving my opinion sometimes when they're not like, I love them because I love Jessica. But for me, this outfit, it's just meh. It's okay.
I wasn't a fan. I think that the color, like I said, with the staging and everything, the lighting didn't really go with it. I also think Grace's looks a little bit more elevated, where Jessica added the sleeves and stuff to it. And I really want to know what it would have looked like without.
Right. The sleeves is giving me 80s, which sure, okay, Grace was definitely vibing in that era, but yeah, I don't know. It's not as chic as you said. It's not as sleek. And ultimately, like when I look at this outfit, I'm like, okay, well, how would I interpret that? Because like I think Grace is definitely known for this hood vibe. And I would have loved to have seen just like a giant hood, you know, like just a giant hood, like even on a leotard, but make the hood really large and then maybe give us like some long purple Balenciaga vibration boots. I don't know. Maybe that's how I would have done it. But yeah, for me, it missed the mark.
Yeah. Lala Ree.
Tara.
Tara.
Too simple. Too simple. Again, it's like Grace has so many iconic looks that it's like, why would you choose that? And then look at the insane mask that Grace had with this look, you know? So it's like, why didn't you give us that? Like,
Well, she did have the mask, but it wasn't.
she did?
Yeah, the little white thing there. But it was a big
Girl,
circle.
that's giving Jabberwockies.
It was a big circle, and it wasn't like a crescent moon.
Right.
And also, I was not a fan of the latex. Is it latex?
Yeah. Or pleather. Yeah.
Yeah, one or the other. I wasn't a fan of that because
The hat's also giving me like Mickey Mouse hat that she took the ears off of and put the bow on. I don't know. I'm reading today. I feel so bad. But no, I just feel like this was such a great moment for a fashion vibration. You know, it's fucking Grace Jones. And just like, I'm like, y'all could have brought it more.
Did Alexis bring it more?
I did like this look.
I love
this. This is a wear it. This is a wear it for me. I thought, again, see, this is a much better reference to choose from. It gives you something to work with. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think she looks elevated. I think she looks sharp, sleek, chic. Yeah, it's good.
I loved this. I loved her makeup. I loved everything about it. And I was like, Alexis, you brought it. I thought Alexis did really great this episode. That's why I was a little shocked to see her safe, when I probably would have put her in the top.
And she really kind of stuck to the original outfit, which like when the original outfit is good, there's nothing wrong with emulating it. You know, like I think a lot of these girls tried to interpret this in their own way or add their own vibe, which I do appreciate. But also like when you're working with something like Grace Jones, that's pretty close to perfection. Like just emulate that.
Just emulate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because look, she even got that black and white stripe, off panel. So cool.
So good. Total wear it.
Yeah, total wear it.
And last up for our regular top 7, we have
Not regular.
we have Jimbo.
So funny enough, I don't know if we'll be able to find the picture. I had this dress made. Gia Gunn and I, when we were traveling as Team Too Much, hers was red, mine was black. So this is a look that I really love. And I think Jimbo killed it. I think Jimbo absolutely killed it. I mean, and Jimbo rhinestoned it, which of course is just elevating the look for all stars. The hair hat, amazing. Some of the best hair Jimbo's had this season, like the thumbs up. I loved that hair too. So yeah, I think this is a total wear it. And again, I just love the original reference. It's so classic Grace. It's so chic. It's gorge.
I loved it. I love the hair hat. I was like, because she doesn't have a hair hat, right?
I don't think Grace's is made of hair. No.
I was like, oh, so smart.
Genius. Yeah.
Loved it. Just a little thing. I would totally wear this.
Yeah, totally.
You ready for the fame games?
I am. I actually watched Untucked this week. I know. Look at me. So I saw these. So I'm excited to say what I think.
First up, we had
A Tarot.
Party City.
A Tarot. Monica Beverly Hills. All I can think of is, like I said, when Yuha just kept saying, like, well, what if all their looks are bad? And I'm like, well, no one will have that. Poor Monica. The looks have just not been good.
It just feels very costumey.
I mean, look at this headpiece. It's so little in comparison to Grace's large one. And again, you're choosing from Grace's look and you pick a black leotard and cape. Like, come on. Even for Grace, that was simple. Like,
but that headpiece on Grace was
amazing. And definitely helped elevate the outfit. But,
Tear it. Naysha Lopez.
See, again, what a much better reference to be picking from. Also, how did no one do the Keith Haring reference?
I don't know.
That was shocking to me. I was like, what? Y'all aren't going to do the like classic Grace? Like maybe because they all thought everyone's pick that.
Everyone's going to do that, yeah.
But yeah, this reference, so good. I definitely love the gold bodysuit. The suit is a total wear it for me. The headpiece is a tear it. When she turned around and she had that one big braid in the back, I was like, now girl, what? Like, why didn't you just keep the gorgeous long 40-inch human hair and just put the gold thing in it? Like, why did you add this braid on top that looks so boo-boo? But yeah, no, it's a wear it for me. I mean, the gold bodysuit is gorgeously constructed. It's totally giving what Grace had on, but in her own version. So I respect it. You hate it.
I love the OG version. I think that just
It's
stands
better.
out in a different way.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Naysha Lopez's kind of just mixes in. Like it kind of just all, because her hair is the same color. Like it's not like she did like the white hair or anything like that. I really wish that she would have done something to stand out.
Well, maybe she should have done gold hair since the whole outfit was
it's
white
gold,
and she
yes.
did white hair. Then if she had done gold hair, like metallic gold hair,
That could have looked bomb.
could have looked cool.
Yeah. Not
So
for
it's a
me,
tear
though.
it for you.
Tear it for me.
Wow. Okay. I thought of all the looks Naysha's been serving in the Fame game, this was one of her best ones.
I agree with that,
Okay.
but I still a tear it.
Okay.
Next up, Miss Kasha Davis came. I was so happy with her.
I'm so proud of her. And I knew the minute I saw the dress, I was like, this is the iconic Hollywood Bowl dress. If she turns around and has her ass out, I'm going to die. And then she did. And I was like, that's so fucking correct, Kasha.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
So good. Such a moment for her. So happy for her. Showing off her natural body. I love it. I love it.
Wear it.
Total wear it.
And last up, we had Miss Darian Lake coming through.
Mama, Darian's killing it to me on the
She
Fame game.
sure is.
I love this look and I love the way she interpreted it. See, this to me is a great example of how you take something Grace did and take it to the
elevate
next
it.
level because she made it a full outfit. She added the headpiece. She's got these great iconic glasses. She was selling it on the runway. I mean, I'm very proud of Darian too. I think she's killing it.
She's totally killing it. And I love this look. I also think that she looked a little bit like Jafar from Aladdin.
100%.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Then I was like, I would love to see Darian Lake as like an evil, like Jafar
it.
villain. Like
Yeah,
I'm
love it.
feeling that for her.
Yeah, totally.
But I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. It's a total wear it.
Total wear it. Well, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to chat our winners and who left.
Oh.
And also, Laganja, we have a little time warp situation.
Oh my God, a time warp. We haven't done one of those this season.
I know.
Okay, I'm excited. Well, we'll be right back.
Well, we are back. It's queening out.
Yes, it is.
So, Laganja, we had our top, which was Candy Muse.
Yes.
And you did not necessarily agree with that. And our bottom two ended up being James Mansfield and Kahana Montrese. And
Which I also didn't necessarily agree with, but yeah.
I agree with that too. And our lip sync assassin was Angeria Paris Van Michaels. They performed.
Was who?
Angeria Paris Van Michaels.
Wow, I didn't know she had so many names to her name.
Or as Tammy Brown calls her, Angoria.
Well, you know, Tammy says everything special.
She so does.
Yeah.
They performed to I'm Not Perfect, But I'm Perfect for You by Grace Jones. And it ended up with Candy Muse winning. She pulled the lipstick out and sent James home.
Now, I am going to go ahead and give Candy her flowers here since I did read her this whole episode. She was amazing at the lip sync. She
great.
absolutely slayed Angeria. Like, she was very sexy. She was giving me the vibes. She killed it, and I was very happy for her. I thought she looked great. I thought she did great. She did great. And Angeria also looked gorgeous. I loved the hair. Obviously, a girl in green. Mm-hmm. You know, if it ain't green, I'm not.
I'm not interested.
Thank you. I was about to say queen. But yeah, so it was good. Angeria was good. But yeah, Candy, wow. I was super impressed. And I was like, okay, queen. Now that's how you impress me.
And
you
that's how
turned
you
it.
lip sync.
Yeah, she turned it.
She turned it.
And then yeah, she pulled out James lipstick. And I was a little gagged, but also not really since I'd watched Untucked this week. And I knew that, you know, she and Kahana had a connection and they were friends. So I was like, well, I get it.
But I was just shocked because when I did watch Untucked, every single girl voted for James, which was a little baffling to me because I believe that James, even though Kahana has won, I do believe that James's track record is a little bit better.
Agreed.
So it was shocking to me. And there was like this moment too, like a little pit in my stomach where I was like, oh, like that was probably the first elimination that kind of really, really hit for me. And I was like, oh, James is going to leave now. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think, ultimately it did come down to people felt like James was a threat. And, some of the girls have mentioned that when it comes to voting people off, they're going to start voting off people they think are threats. So, I mean, it's hard to say when you're in that moment what you would do. I think personally I would stick to track record because that's who I am. And I just couldn't send somebody who's good home because I'm threatened by them. Like, if anything, I want to keep the people who are good around me because when I win, I want to know that I won fair and square against the best. But it definitely was a little shocking to see the girls choose her, all of them.
Well, Laganja, it's time to hit the button.
Okay.
We're going to the time warp.
Okay.
Let's hit it. Boop. Laganja,
Yes.
All-Star 6.
Uh-huh.
We talked about a lot of season 6.
We did,
Last
yeah.
season, we did not talk about All-Star 6.
Do we not?
We just said that you came from the ceiling. Because I think
Okay.
literally it was very close time.
Right.
So I want to know from you, what was that experience like being a lip sync assassin? Like,
Yeah.
you get the phone call. Did you get a phone call or was it
I did.
email or like what was it like?
Phone call. Well, for me, it was like really a great moment. I was super excited to receive that call, just like I was excited to receive the season 6 call. Because, I've been wanting to be a lip sync assassin since it was created. I felt like that is what I'm known for doing. And this would be a great way for me to go back to the show, but stay in my comfort zone. So yeah, I was super excited and began working immediately on the outfit. Because I knew that it wasn't like a theme, right? Where we had to have a certain, parameter to what we wore. So of course I knew I wanted it to be green. I knew I wanted it to be weed related. And I actually have a whole YouTube episode that follows my journey through making the outfit, through rehearsing and choreographing the number. And you see the whole thing if people are interested in that. But yeah, it was such a special moment. And I definitely had a lot of anxiety going in. Like once they came and picked me up from my house, it was just like my heart was racing. And it wasn't really until I stepped out of the car and my dress blew up like Marilyn Monroe that I knew I was a star and I was meant to be there. And I just sort of like relaxed into it as much as I could. I was definitely medicated for sure, which helped as well. But yeah, it was definitely just such a moment I'll never forget. I had told them that I wanted to enter from the ceiling like Tandy Amon Dupree. And so they had built me a platform. And when I got in there, it was actually on the left side of the stage. And I am a left splitter, so that wasn't going to work. So I literally had them like undrill it, move it over, re-drill it in, which was so cool that that production did that for me. And then, yeah, we filmed it like 5 or 6 times without an audience just so that they could make sure they got it on camera in case the one time that I did it for the queens and the judges wasn't right. Of course, that didn't happen, and they ended up using the last time I did it. But I do believe the overhead shot was most likely from one of the pre-tapes before the crowd was there. And yeah, it was magic. I'll just never forget it. And the minute I hit that stage, it was like, I just felt such an intense amount of relief. And I just knew that I was giving it my all and that ultimately people were going to love it. I didn't know that it would be as viral as it was, truly, because it really changed my career. I mean, truly, I feel like the last couple of years, I've just been working off that 5-minute moment. But yeah, it was so special. And, it's like I didn't even know I hit Silky with my outfit. Like that was something that I didn't know until I saw on TV, and I died when I saw that because I actually hit her twice. I don't know if they show it, but I hit her twice. She's definitely let me know that. And yeah, it was just so cool to be competing against my season 6 sister Trinity because like I was saying earlier, I like to compete against people who are good. I want to be challenged. I don't want to just mollywop some little old easy rinkety dink girl, So it was
Jumbo.
You know what? I did want to say something about that moment, at the beginning of the episode. I had mixed feelings about it.
Did you?
Yeah, it's sort of like how the tuck talk where part of me is like, you guys can't say those things. And then the other part of me is like, oh, lighten up. Who cares? It was the same thing with Jimbo. Like there was a part of me that was like, are you really complaining about not being a good lip syncer and like being embarrassed when you've won every challenge? And then the other part of me was like, Well, I'd be the opposite of Jimbo, and I would probably screw up in all the challenges, but be great at lip syncing. And so I would probably be embarrassed that I didn't do great over here. So it's like I could relate, but I also was like, maybe keep that to yourself. Like you're looking a little victim-y.
That's what I was thinking. But then I remembered, every single week he's losing out on $10,000.
Oh,
So I was
I'm
like,
gonna be crying just for that.
so literally he's lost 3 lip syncs, which is 30 grand.
Yeah.
And Candy just got 30 grand. So like those are the things that was going through my head. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's probably not only like he's performing in front of Rue, he's not doing great. And then
Right.
on top of that, you're not winning money. So I understood it from that point. But
Well, and at the end of the day, as I was also saying earlier, like people are afraid to be vulnerable, and Jimbo was being vulnerable in that moment. So in the end, I do appreciate it, but there was a part of me that was just like, maybe not the best look for you, doll. Like just,
keep it.
I know what you're feeling, but yeah, it's like, again, that's why this show is so interesting, is like, it's so easy to have an opinion on something, but then even me, someone who has an opinion on things, I'm like, but do I really feel that? Or like, do I feel the other? Can I relate to the other? Like, it's like, I think sometimes people often forget that, like there's 2 sides to a coin,
Yeah.
and it's really a balance of both. So anyways, I don't know why I went on that tangent. But yeah, All-Star 6 was amazing. I'm so grateful I got to do it. It changed my life. And I feel like in 5 minutes, I really proved to people why I am an all-star and why ultimately I don't need to compete as one.
Were you nervous about winning because you would have to send somebody home?
No. I know I was winning.
Yeah.
That was never a question. And whoever I had to send home, I didn't pick them. Y'all did.
Yeah.
So I just have to deliver the message. So no, I didn't feel bad about that.
And what did you think when you actually got physical? Like when you got the song, when they were like, this is the song that you're going to be doing.
I'm not the biggest Dula Peep fan. I really don't like listen to her music that much. So I didn't even really know it, to be honest. But when I heard it, I was like, okay, this song is fierce. I love it. And I felt like, oh, of course it's this song, because on season 6, I had the Let's Get Physical original song challenge with April Carry On. So I was like, oh, this is cute. Like it's tying into that moment. And yeah, I definitely loved it once I heard it. But like when they first told me it, I was like, what? I don't know that song.
You're like, what is that?
Yeah. But I do love recently how everyone's comparing me to Jasmine, because she did
yes.
Hallucinate and killed it. I'm loving that moment. So yeah, Jasmine and I have been tweeting each other being like, okay, well, when are we doing like a trans Dula Peep tour? And I'm like, I'm into it,
I
sis.
love that.
Let's make it happen.
Dula Peep.
Yeah.
Well, that was it for the Time Warp, and that's it for the episode this week.
I can't believe it.
And
Our
you're-
last time officially together in the same room.
Yes.
I know, I'm sad
the
about it
season.
too. But don't worry, we're still going to continue
Yes.
these episodes. We're just going to be zooming into one another. So this lovely background and professionalism will be most likely me in a dressing room.
Hey, that's something.
But you're still going to hear our voices and our opinions, and we're not going to leave you dry.
We won't. So make sure to send us an email at
Laganjos, that's LAGANJOES @gmail.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail at 805-624-5402. That's 805-624-5402.
Ooh, I love that ASMR version.
I had to give it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Joseph Shepard.
And I'm Miss Laganja Estranja.
Thanks so much for watching.
Queening out!
We'll see you next week.
Mwah. Bye.